I just want to tell Jaguar Wright, be careful. She just went on Piers Morgan. Beyonce and Jay-Z sent Piers Morgan a cease and desist. Made Piers Morgan publicly apologize.
He further warned.
Today, it's about to get dangerous for a lot of people. So if you out here doing what you're doing, because y'all not me. So you better be on your P's and Q's. It's about to get ugly. This is when people start to turn up dead right now. Keep that in mind.
He brought you on to speak on Diddy, and it seemed as if your focus turned to Jay-Z, his wife.
That's always been my focus.
Yes. What?
They're one and the same. Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You're saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter
Peanut butter and jelly. Because everything that he said, denouncing me, and then confirming me, and then talking about, that all happened a day before the report about the 9-year-old boy was released. And before people started confirming that the video that was being shopped around was Bieber and Diddy. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things. Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he's 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him.
Jay-Z, the ultimate power player in music and business, is caught up in a mess that could knock the crown off his empire. A jaw-dropping lawsuit just dropped, accusing the rap mogul of misconduct with a minor, and the streets and social media are buzzing. Fans are shook, and the whispers are turning into roars as folks dissect what this could mean for his untouchable legacy. But wait, here comes Diddy, who's already knee-deep in his own drama, stirring the pot even more. Diddy's throwing shade, claiming Jay not only knew about some shady dealings but might have had a hand in them too. It's a whole soap opera. Now Jay-Z, who's built his empire on smooth moves, philanthropy, and those billion-dollar business flexes, finds himself in uncharted waters. And let me tell you, sources close to him are saying he's mad behind closed doors. The man is ready to fight tooth and nail to clear his name. Word on the street is he's putting together a legal dream team that could make even Olivia Pope take notes. Jay might be calm in public, but trust, behind the scenes, he's gearing up for the battle of a lifetime.
These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many up people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me, I'm trying to move beyond Diddy, I'm Love now. It seems like Jay-Z would try to
in
run away
God's
from
eye, calling that than anything that he did love. Brother love. What kind of love? Baby oil love. Baby love. Baby love. Explicit love. Hey! They never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Oh man, it's different now.
These lyrics are all hitting different right now. All the people talking about fathers, all kinds of stuff.
So let's just start with Piers Morgan, because there's a headline that went out that was very powerful that people are running with, where it just says, Jay-Z is the real monster. Now, before you speak on it, to even get to Piers Morgan, can you explain how that took place and why even take that interview to go forward?
Well, excuse me. I can't say that I sought it out because I didn't. Truth is we didn't see it coming. But I have to credit Odell.
Easy.
My love. I have to credit him because since we've combined and joined forces and become a hell of an investigative journalism team. See, I'm the content, I'm the passion, I'm the voice. I'm also the brain, but I do too much by myself. That's the brain. That's the administrator. That's the bloodhound. And he, there were so many people that hacked into so many of my accounts. People didn't even know how to get in touch with me anymore. And Odell created that lane. And they reached out to him. Piers Morgan's producers called him directly. And we talked about it briefly, and I said, we have to do it. We have to. Because the one thing I know about Piers Morgan is he is a smart prey. And not only is he smart prey, he is a great conductor of information. He also vets things viciously. And I want to thank you for that. Because if my word is good enough to make it through Piers Morgan's firewall of please don't sue me, then I guess he just vetted me for every ounce of real life content on this blue couch. We thank you for that.
Baby, these lawsuits got folks clutching their pearls. Jay-Z's been out here for decades, building himself up as not just a music icon, but a straight-up mogul, a global boss and cultural heavyweight. From music to fashion, sports, and even fighting the good fight for social justice. He's been the blueprint for success and influence. But now, baby, this empire of his is getting a side-eye from everybody thanks to these new allegations. Now, if y'all missed it, here's the rundown. Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs are being accused of doing the unthinkable, violating a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 VMAs. Zrania, let that sink in for a minute. This case, first filed in October, just got a major remix and was refiled in New York on Sunday, with Jay-Z's name added to the defendant list. The woman behind the lawsuit, who's now grown and living in Alabama, says she's been carrying the weight of this nightmare for her whole life. According to her, she was just a starry-eyed teen trying to soak up the magic of the VMAs, even though she didn't have a ticket. She made her way to New York, hoping to catch a vibe. While hanging outside the venue, a limousine driver, who she says worked for Diddy, rolled up and lured her in with promises of an exclusive after-party invite. And y'all, she took the bait, not knowing the hell that was waiting for her. The lawsuit even alleges the driver told her Diddy liked younger girls and that she was just his type. And that before all this, sis had been out there hustling, standing outside Radio City Music Hall, trying to slide into the VMAs by approaching limos pulling up with the big stars. You can't make this mess up. Y'all, the details in this lawsuit are straight up chilling. The plaintiff says the limo driver didn't take her to any regular party, but instead whisked her away to some private spot. Once there, she was handed what she thought was just a non-disclosure agreement to sign. But after that, things took a dark turn. She claims she was given a drink that she now believes was spiked, setting the stage for the nightmare that followed. According to the lawsuit, once inside, she was allegedly assaulted in ways that words can hardly capture. The complaint accuses both Jay-Z and Diddy of violating her, describing the ordeal as a horrific experience beyond comprehension. The woman claims that at one point, Diddy, looking completely unhinged, approached her saying, "You ready to party?" before allegedly throwing her against a wall. She says the impact left her dazed and stumbling, but when she tried to regain her balance, Diddy grabbed her again and threw her onto a bed. Here's where it gets even darker. The lawsuit alleges that Jay-Z then stripped her of her clothes and held her down while he violated her, all while Diddy and a female celebrity watched. Once Jay-Z was done, the plaintiff claims Diddy then took his turn, with the other two continuing to watch. Baby, this is beyond disturbing. Now Jay-Z, whose government name is Sean Carter, isn't having it. He's already come out swinging, calling these allegations nothing but a blackmail scheme. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team has flat out denied everything, labeling the claims as outright lies and defamatory.
He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people."
Despite all the denials and legal team spin, this lawsuit has folks talking, and not in a good way. It's reignited that messy conversation about us in the music industry, putting a magnifying glass on some of its biggest players. With Jay-Z and Diddy now neck deep in this refiled case, the fallout could be catastrophic, threatening to shake up their legacies as hip-hop royalty. The stakes? Oh baby, they're sky high. Their reputations, careers, and the carefully curated images they've spent decades building are hanging on by a thread. According to the lawsuit, while the girl was mingling at the party, she took a drink from a waitress working the room, but sis says that drink hit her like a ton of bricks. After sipping it, she started feeling woozy and lightheaded, so she went looking for a quiet spot to lie down. That's when she found a room with a bed and laid down, trying to collect herself. But instead of finding peace, the situation took a horrific turn. The lawsuit alleges that Jay-Z, Diddy, and a famous female celebrity, who the girl says she recognized, all entered the room. Then things got dark, fast. The suit claims Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, held her down and assaulted her while Diddy and the female celebrity just stood there watching. Afterward, it's alleged that Diddy also violated her while the same two witnesses stood by, not lifting a finger to stop it. But it doesn't end there. The complaint says Diddy tried to force the girl to perform oral S on him, but she fought back, landing a punch in her frantic attempt to escape. The girl somehow managed to grab her clothes, wrap them around herself, and make a run for it. And y'all, here's where it gets even more chilling. The lawsuit claims that despite there being other guests still at the party, nobody stepped in to help her. Nobody noticed or cared that she was clearly in distress. That detail alone speaks volumes about the alleged culture of silence and indifference that allowed this to happen. The complaint goes on to describe the girl's desperate escape. After fleeing the house, she put her clothes back on as best as she could and ran to a gas station she remembered passing on the way there. The image of her stumbling to safety is haunting, y'all, and it paints a grim picture of what she says she endured that night. Now here's where things take a turn. The gas station clerk, noticing the girl's panic and distress, reportedly let her use the phone. According to the lawsuit, she called her father, who came to rescue her. This marked the end of what she describes as a night of pure hell, one that left her emotionally scarred for life. Fast forward to today, and now an adult, she's taking a stand. She's seeking damages in the lawsuit, aiming to hold Jay-Z, Diddy, and everyone else allegedly involved accountable. Her story shines a light on the dark realities of power, exploitation, and neglect that she claims created the perfect storm for that night's horror to unfold unchecked. But Jay-Z, honey, he's not just sitting quietly in the corner. Oh no, he came out swinging. In a statement, he called the lawsuit nothing more than a shameless blackmail attempt. He said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt disguised as a demand letter from some lawyer named Tony Busby. This man thought the weight of these allegations and public pressure would force me to settle. Ha! Nope, it did the opposite. Now I'm ready to expose you and your fraud in a big public way." And baby, he didn't stop there. Jay-Z added, "I'm not giving you one red penny. The only people who will believe these ridiculous claims are your conspiracy theorist friends and some fake psychics. The accusations you've made against me are so outrageous, they'd be laughable if they didn't involve such a serious topic like harm to kids." Zrania, talk about doubling down.
Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement. He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because New York, and what's alleged in this complaint is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality.
And baby, Jay-Z didn't stop there. In a statement shared on X, he brought it home, saying these heinous claims don't just target him, they're now affecting his family, and y'all know how protective he is of them. He mentioned his 12-year-old daughter, Blue Ivy, and his twins, Rumi and Sir, who are only 7, all of whom he shares with Beyonce. My only heartbreak is for my family, he said. My wife and I now have to sit down with our kids, one of whom is at the age where her friends are bound to see this mess in the press and ask questions. We'll have to explain the cruelty and greed of people, he added. And then, in a gut punch of a closing line, he said, I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Meanwhile, in a letter sent Monday to the judge handling this messy case, Carter's attorney laid it all out. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Carter is entirely innocent. This is a shakedown. The letter went on to clarify, he is not mentioned, referenced, or implicated in any way in the criminal investigation of Mr. Combs. Mr. Carter is neither a target nor a person of interest in that investigation.
Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do.
Baby, this legal drama just took a bold new twist. A letter was sent requesting an expedited hearing to strip the plaintiff of her anonymity, a move that seems aimed at poking holes in her credibility. And trust, the tension surrounding this case is thicker than a pot of gumbo. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, is coming in hot, asking the federal court in New York to dismiss the case entirely and make the accuser's name public. Mr. Carter deserves to know the identity of the person accusing him of criminal conduct in this over-the-top, publicity-chasing spectacle, the filing stated. It went on to claim that the whole thing is a cynical and calculated campaign designed to force Jay-Z into coughing up millions. Truth be damned. Spiro even wrote, defendants would have to pay X millions of dollars, whether the allegations are true or not. But when Mr. Carter refused to pay, and instead took steps to prove his innocence, this anonymous plaintiff and her headline-hungry lawyer doubled down, going to ridiculous lengths to block a fair defense. And even that didn't work. Logically, the gloves are officially off. But here's the tea. It's highly unlikely the court will remove the plaintiff's anonymity, and for good reason. We're not just talking about a random defendant here. This is Jay-Z, y'all. A global music mogul with more money, power, and influence than most can dream of. If her identity is revealed, the risks could be monumental. She might face serious dangers beyond what typically comes with high-profile lawsuits, and with everything at stake, this battle is only getting messier. And here's where it gets even messier. Stripping the plaintiff of her anonymity doesn't just risk public exposure. It could open the door to intimidation, blackmail, or even pressure to take hush money to keep quiet. This case is all about power dynamics, and revealing her identity could leave her vulnerable to retaliation. High-profile figures like Jay-Z have the resources to influence public opinion, bury evidence, or push accusers into silence. While there's no proof that he'd take such steps, just the possibility makes keeping her identity private a top priority. Allowing her to remain anonymous lets her fight for justice without the fear of personal danger, public attacks, or being discredited by powerful forces. With the nature of these allegations and how often victims in similar cases face backlash, the court is likely to prioritize her safety and emotional well-being over Jay-Z's demand for transparency. Meanwhile, Sean Diddy Combs' attorney, Teeny Jaragos, came out swinging in a fiery statement. This amended complaint, along with Mr. Busby's recent extortion lawsuit, reveals his true game: shameless publicity stunts designed to bleed payments out of celebrities who fear the fallout of false accusations. Just as they've done with Mr. Combs, Jaragos said. The statement didn't hold back, repeating Diddy's strong denials and his faith in the system. Mr. Combs is fully confident in the facts and in the integrity of the judicial process. When this plays out in court, the truth will come out. Mr. Combs has never trafficked or assaulted anyone, man, woman, adult, or minor, Jaragos declared. This bold response shows Diddy's legal team isn't playing. They're making it clear they're ready to tear apart the allegations in this lawsuit. By pushing to reveal the plaintiff's identity, they're signaling an aggressive strategy to challenge her story. But this move could also stir up ethical and legal concerns, shaking up the trajectory of the case and leaving a big question mark over how the public will perceive it all. Oh, but the drama doesn't stop there. Last month, attorney Tony Busby found himself in hot water when an anonymous male celebrity slapped him with a lawsuit, accusing Busby of trying to extort money by threatening to file fake claims of assault or abuse, allegations the celebrity flat out denies. Busby, of course, fired back, calling the accusations baseless and downright malicious. When CBS News reached out for comment, Busby stayed silent, leaving the streets buzzing with speculation about this messy legal saga. But then Busby shook the table with a bold post on X Sunday night, where he made a jaw-dropping claim. He accused Jay-Z, using his government name, Sean Carter, of being the mastermind behind the anonymous lawsuit against him. This accusation is just the latest twist in a legal battle already drowning in lawsuits and counterclaims, dragging big names through a tangled web of drama. Busby wasn't done, though. He added, "What Mr. Carter conveniently left out in his recent statement is that my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of a victim. And let me be clear, she never demanded a dime from him. All she wanted was a confidential mediation." He didn't hold back, continuing, "Since I sent that letter, Mr. Carter hasn't just sued me. He's tried to bully and harass both me and my client. But let me tell you something. His antics have backfired. She's stronger than ever, and I'm incredibly proud of her courage." Busby then doubled down on Instagram, claiming a coordinated and aggressive effort against him that has included filing frivolous cases against me and my law firm, defaming me with outrageous assertions to anyone who will listen, and having mysterious people follow me and my family. In his statement on Instagram, Busby continued to assert his confidence in the truth, writing, "People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence." Now let's talk about determination, honey, because Tony Busby is making it clear he's not backing down. He's doubling down as the self-proclaimed warrior for his clients, despite all the swirling controversies. Meanwhile, Sean Diddy Combs, Zrania, he's in an even tighter spot. Currently locked up in New York, Diddy is staring down federal trafficking charges that have cranked this legal circus up to a whole new level. And let's be real, getting his bail denied multiple times isn't helping his case or his reputation. With these high-stakes cases unfolding in New York and DC, the pressure is building for everyone involved, Combs, Busby, and Jay-Z alike. One thing's for sure, the months ahead are going to be packed with explosive twists and courtroom theatrics. Combs' arrest in September came with some jaw-dropping charges: trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transporting individuals for illegal acts. Prosecutors are claiming Diddy used his vast business empire as a tool to run these alleged schemes for years. And baby, the picture they're painting, it's not looking good. Allegations of calculated exploitation and control add another layer to his already chaotic legal battles. But Diddy isn't folding. He pled not guilty to everything, and his legal team insists the charges are nothing but a smear campaign to tear him down. Still, with his personal life and career on the line, this case has everybody watching, waiting for the next big reveal as the drama plays out in court. And here's the tea. Word on the street is that Diddy might try to shift some of the heat onto Jay-Z. Yep, you heard me. If it means softening the blow and reducing his own liability, don't be surprised if he points fingers in Hobbs' direction. This legal chess game is far from over, and trust, it's only getting juicier. Oh, you know the strategy is about to get real slick, right? If Diddy can somehow convince the court that he and Jay-Z were equally involved, or better yet, paint Jay-Z as the ringleader in these allegations, he might just lighten the load on himself. This move is straight out of the playbook when you're dealing with multiple defendants, and the stakes are as high as this. If he can make Jay-Z look just as guilty, maybe even more so, Combs could potentially reduce his own consequences, shifting some of that heat off him. This kind of tactic isn't new in legal battles, especially when you're trying to create doubt and blur the lines. By pointing fingers at Jay-Z, Diddy might be trying to mess with the narrative, making it harder for the court and the public to pin everything on him. And don't get it twisted, by painting Hov as the co-defendant with just as much, if not more, dirt on his hands, he could sway the judge to see his actions as part of a bigger picture, not just isolated incidents. For Diddy, the rewards are clear. 1, it takes some of that spotlight off of him, clouding the case against him. 2, it opens up a potential bargaining chip, maybe offering up information on Jay-Z's alleged involvement in exchange for a sweeter deal, like a lighter sentence or a plea bargain. But let's be real, this move could totally backfire. If the court smells desperation or sees it as a weak attempt to dodge blame, it could destroy Diddy's credibility even more. Still, with everything on the line, it's looking like Diddy will at least try to make Jay-Z part of this mess as the case goes on. Now, this isn't the first time Jay-Z's name has been thrown into the mix of serious accusations. For years, singer Jaguar Wright has been spilling tea, claiming she knows some dark industry secrets. She's been saying that Jay-Z and Diddy weren't just guilty by association, they were in it together. And according to her, Jay-Z wasn't just a bystander, he was allegedly right there in the thick of it all. Back then, no one really took Jaguar seriously, but now, people might be starting to listen a little more closely. Now, let's talk about how the industry tried to shut her down. They called Jaguar Wright bitter, said she was just looking for some attention, and straight up dismissed her detailed accounts. Even though she was out here trying to expose what she saw as a whole system of exploitation by powerful figures in the music game, most of her warnings fell on deaf ears. But baby, now, with these new allegations coming to light, Wright's past warnings are looking harder to ignore. The way the claims now echo what Wright said years ago, oh, it's raising some eyebrows. You have to wonder if these accusations against Jay-Z were always there, lurking in the background, waiting for the right moment to be noticed. Wright's story serves as a painful reminder of how often powerful figures in the industry stay protected, while the voices calling them out are either silenced or dismissed. Now, with the heat cranking up in the courtroom, this case might finally force people to take a hard look at Jay-Z's past. Could it be that the signs were always there, but we just weren't paying attention? And speaking of heat, Wright didn't stop there. She caused a storm online after dropping bombshells about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during her appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored back in October. Her comments came while she was spilling tea about Diddy's ongoing legal mess after his arrest. Things are definitely heating up, and Wright seems ready to remind everyone why they should have listened to her from the start.
We asked you this last time, and Piers Morgan said it. They're not here to defend themselves. Do you think the Carters will speak about any of this at all? Do you just feel that they'll make any statement about
Beyonce
what's going on?
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say so?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals.
For 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters.
Oh, and don't think Wright's explosive comments are going anywhere anytime soon. After the firestorm she caused, Wright tried to apologize for her bold statements, but let's be real, the conversation is still sizzling. And you know it, former celebrity bodyguard BigHomie.cc stepped in during an October 23rd interview with Cam Capone News, and honey, he wasn't holding back. He pointed out something major. Despite all the drama, Wright has a solid, credible background as a songwriter for some of the industry's biggest names. That definitely gives her claims some extra weight. This interview threw more fuel on the fire, sparking fresh debates about Wright's history of calling out shady business in the music world. It left people wondering if she's been saying more than the industry has been ready to hear. And hold up, homie.cc didn't stop there. He dropped some tea, noting that despite all the work Wright's put in, she hasn't always gotten credit for her contributions on certain projects. He even showed her some serious love, calling her out for being unapologetically uncensored. In his words, I don't know.
I just want to tell Jaguar Wright, be careful. She just went on Piers Morgan. Beyonce and Jay-Z sent Piers Morgan a cease and desist. Made Piers Morgan publicly apologize.
He further warned.
Today, it's about to get dangerous for a lot of people, so if you out here doing what you're doing, because y'all not me, so you better be on your P's and Q's. It's about to get ugly. This is when people start to turn up dead right now. Keep that in mind.
And it doesn't stop there. Wright's got even more to say. On Uncensored, she went in hard, alleging that Jay-Z and Beyonce might have hurt others in the same way Diddy's accused of. Yeah, she went there. When the interviewer tried to hit her with the "where's the proof" question, BigHomie.cc was quick to clap back. He made it clear that throwing around the monster label was straight up disrespectful. He wasn't having it, and he let everyone know that some things go deeper than what the public's been told.
I'm a monster. So like all of that type of stuff, I can't really, I only speak on the things I know I can verify as facts. Like when it comes to them having hundreds of victims and stuff like that, I can't confirm none of that.
And hold on tight, because Wright wasn't done spilling the tea. During her latest appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored, she dropped some jaw-dropping allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce. She went as far as claiming that she knows 3 people ready to step forward as their victims. Oh yeah, she went there. Wright didn't sugarcoat anything, calling the power couple a nasty little couple and accusing them of some seriously troubling behavior. And you best believe the internet is buzzing about this one.
They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things. Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
The drama was real when Jaguar Wright's statement hit, sparking a firestorm of attention and backlash, opening up conversations about the darker side of the music industry. And if that wasn't enough, Wright dropped a bomb, mentioning Aaliyah, a name forever tied to tragedy and scandal, which only added an eerie layer to her accusations. Whether this will lead to any real legal action, or a response from Jay-Z and Beyonce is still up in the air, but one thing's for sure, Wright's comments have people talking and raising eyebrows. But wait, it gets even juicier. Wright's appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored took a wild turn when rumors started flying that Jay-Z himself allegedly stepped in to get a segment pulled from the broadcast. And hold up, he even pressured Morgan to issue a public apology. At the time, it seemed like Jay-Z was overreacting, but with all the new accusations swirling, it's starting to make sense why he'd be so rattled. Wright's bold claims about knowing 3 potential victims ready to come forward, yeah, that probably hit a nerve. Her words painted a seriously damning picture of the power couple's alleged behavior, and it's starting to feel like maybe she was onto something all along. And here's the kicker. By trying to shut it all down, Jay-Z only drew even more attention to Wright's accusations. What some thought was just sensational gossip is now gaining weight, making everyone wonder, is there more to this than we've been told? If Jay-Z was really trying to hide something, well, it's working, but in the opposite way he intended. So what do you think? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this tea, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss my next video. Don't